My name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit, and I have an update for Penless eyeshadows. Last month I rolled in brand new shades, yet somehow still managed to keep the exact same color story that I have been working on all year round. So the very first shade here is Warm Light from the energized 2 palette. Last month I rolled in New Beige from the Glamlite Mikayla palette, Kiki from the Lunar Life's a Drag palette, and then the single that got rolled in was Iced Mocha from Sydney Grace. So we are going to chat about these 4 shades and see what changes may or may not happen this month. So first, my Unzai 2 palette, I was working on the shade Warm Light, which is this lovely yellow down here. Now last month I had such a nice dip going, so I was mainly using it from my inner corner to the inner half of the lid, but I decided to switch it up a little bit and try using it on my lower lash line, and I really enjoyed doing that. I had paired it with a few shades from my Nude Prism palette, which is my Project Level Up palette, and I adored the look so much. I talked about using a few of those shades together in Project Level Up. So if you saw that update a couple days ago, a few of those shades that I was talking about is what I had paired this yellow shade with, and I loved it so much. It's definitely a look I want to do later on in the year. You know, when fall time comes around, winter time, I could do it in the summer for sure, but I definitely think it'll be something for later on in the year. However, after using it 2 more times, I managed to finally hit pan on Warm Light, and I was so excited about it. I had only used it on the lower lash line the 2 times, and then the babiest of baby pans popped in, and I kind of let this palette go after that. Today I am actually wearing most of the shades on my lids, so I am wearing this one on my lower lash line today as well, which ever so slightly expanded the pan. It is still absolutely tiny, but it is pan nonetheless, and I am so excited that I get to roll that shade out. Hopefully that's going to switch up this color story a little bit, but who knows? We're gonna have to see. So next is the purple, which I had pulled from my Glamlite Mikayla palette. I had Frisky in here, which was another purple, rolled that out last month, and rolled in New Beige. So the New Beige shade is this one right here, I believe. Yeah. And today is the first day I have actually worn the shade. So there's very little use on it. But I actually really liked it. I wasn't quite sure before I put it on my lid how I was going to enjoy it. I did put it more so like on top of whatever I threw into the transition and the crease, but I ended up topping it over the whole lid. I was just gonna do it on the outer corner and put something else on the lid to pair with it, but I just kind of kept going with it, and I really enjoyed how it looked. Now it does obviously look like the swatch, but just from swatching it out last month, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to enjoy it on the lid, but I do actually like it. So I'm happy to know that it's going to be an easy use to throw all over the lid, and hopefully I can get a lot more consistent use with the shade, knowing that, wanting to use it that way, and hopefully I actually do that. So I do know that this is going to be in here for a little bit longer. Like I said, today's the only day. It's only got 1 use on it. So we'll see how long it's going to take to hit pan on that shade. The next shade that was rolled in last month was Kiki from Life's a Drag by Lunar, the original palette. And again, I have only ever used the shade once today since rolling it in, so that's what the shade is looking like. It probably has a little bit of prior use on it from way before this project, but I am wearing that in my inner corner. And I actually really enjoyed pairing the shade with New Beige and just seeing what the 2 of them looked like on the lid together. It's very pretty. Now this eye, the purple, is kind of like all off the lid, so you can't really tell as much. This one, it's still on a little bit. I don't know if you guys are really going to be able to tell, but nonetheless, I do really enjoy pairing those 2 shades together. So I am happy knowing that, and same thing, hopefully I can get a lot more consistent use doing that type of look. Then last but not least is the single, which is Iced Mocha from Sydney Grace, and I have that in this little palette right here. That is this shade, and I didn't start wearing it until a little more recently, so it's definitely got like a good handful of uses on it, but I actually really enjoyed it. Now I have used this prior. I want to say maybe it was Pan Those Eyeshadows a year or two ago, and I did really like wearing it at that time as well, but because I haven't reached for it since then, I kind of forgot how much I actually liked it. When I was out of town, I had brought this shade with me, and I want to say it was even just before going out of town, I actually used this all over the lid, and it was beautiful. So doing that, I've kind of changed my mind on how I want to roll in my singles every month. So when we get to doing that, I will explain it a little bit later. But I actually am so happy that I had this rolled in because it just kind of brought back the excitement for that shade. And I'm like wanting to use it even further on from this project, even just a simple all over the lid look, maybe top a shimmer on top of it, or just a single matte look shade. This is definitely something that I would want to use that for. It's light enough, but it's still dark enough where it doesn't look like my eye is washed out. It's not necessarily just a transition shade. I can use it in the crease. I can use it however, and I have really enjoyed it. So I'm a little sad that I'm actually going to be rolling it out this month because my singles get rolled in and out every single month no matter what, but I am happy that I've got another handful of uses on that shade, and I'm excited to see what's going to be rolled in for this month. Now, if you watched my Pan Those Eyeshadows before, you know that I have just the 4 shades. 3 of them are from palettes and 1 is a single, and the single gets rolled in and out every single month. So what I'm going to do is roll in my new palette shade. Then I'm going to chat about the single and what I'm deciding to do going forward, at least for, I'm thinking just the rest of the year. So I have my notebook here, and I'm going to find my Pan Those Eyeshadows for this year. Okay, so here is some of the list. So I'm going to randomize the letter, find that, see how many shades are under that letter, and then randomize that number to see what shade I will be working on. The alphabet. Okay, so we're only rolling in 1, so let's see what I get. We get the letter S, and there's always so many S shades, but let's see what I've got going. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit. Okay, so here are all of the shades that start with S from the palettes that I chose for this project. So I'm going to count them out, and then we're going to randomize the shade. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19, 20. Okay, so there's 20 shades, so we are going to randomize 1 through 20 and see what we get. Okay. 16. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Ooh, is Serendipity from the Blend Bunny Blends palette. So that's an all matte palette. And I know I used Secrets in that palette before, and I want to say Serenity is close to it in the palette. So I'm going to go grab that palette, and then I'm going to come back, chat about the singles, and go from there. So let me go grab my blends palette, and I will be right back. Okay, so now that I think about it, when I said that I feel like Serenity is close to where Secrets is in this palette, Secrets was a light yellow. Let's hope I don't have another light yellow being rolled in to keep the same color story, but we will find out in just a second. Before I show you guys this, I want to chat about what I'm going to do with my singles. I still am rolling in a single each and every month, no matter what. But while I was using Iced Mocha, I realized how much I actually still enjoyed it. And what I did was I was deciding that I kind of want to hand pick the single because I want to go through the ones that I have and decide if it's a shade that I actually do enjoy and want to keep, or if maybe it's something that I don't have an opinion on, I want to gather more thoughts on, come to a conclusion, and decide if I want to get rid of it, keep it, what I want to do with it, or even use ones that I'm a little unsure of, ones that I feel like I'm not really too excited about, to see if it's something that I truly do want to end up decluttering. So I had my large Gimme Glow palette. I have since condensed my singles back to smaller palettes. Some of these I know I absolutely love, adore, want to keep. Some of them I already have in mind that I want to completely finish off. So what I think, I don't know what I want to work on right now, but what I think I'm going to do is, you know what? Let's do this. We're going to swatch off all of this. We're going to see what my shade is, what Serenity is. And we are going to decide what I'm going to work on. Oops. Okay. Dry my hands. All right. So we are back to a clean hand here. So we're going to dip into this and swatch out New Beige. So pretty. Okay. So there's that one. Then we're going to dip into Kiki and swatch that one. Okay, now I don't necessarily want to pick a single to round out a color story or anything like that, but that may play into why I choose a single. There's going to be a few reasons why, I'm sure. But let's open up the blends palette, see what Serenity is. Serenity or Serendipity? What did I say? Because Serendipity is in here, but I don't see Serenity. And Serendipity is this one. It's Serendipity. It's Serendipity. Do we know what the meaning of serendipity is? Because I rolled in this yellow. See? Okay. I'm gonna go with it. I'm definitely going to go with it. I just know that this is the 2024 color story for me, and it is what it is. Hopefully I can get some use on it. Hopefully, I don't know what it is with these three shades though. Like the purples, the blues, and the yellows are definitely pretty, but I mean, we're what, in July? 7 months of this? But I think it's just pretty ironic because the shade is called Serendipity and it's keeping the exact same color story going. Okay. So now, with that, I may choose a single to help round off this color story and give me something a little bit different. Now, I'm going to go through a few of these with you guys. I know that this palette right here is ones that I want to completely finish off, but I think I want to throw this into a project later on at some point, so this is not going to be an option for this project. These shades here, Touch of Glam, and this one I'm pretty close to hitting pan on. This one I am not. However, I already have a purple, so I'm not going to choose that. This may be an option, and I would just hit pan on it because I feel like I'm super close. These ones are most of my Terra Moon shades. Actually, it is in the Terra Moon package. I just realized that. I love these shades. Some of these do have pan already in them. I sat and swatched and played the other night when I was, you know, putting all of these together, and I was just covered in glitter, but I was so happy. I haven't sat down and just swatched and played for so long that I just had like an hour or two of just like bliss. It was amazing. I needed it, and I adore it. So anyways, I was covered in glitter just from this palette alone, and I don't know if I want to use one of these. These top ones here, they're iridescent, they're beautiful, they're Terra Moons, they're absolutely stunning. I think all of these are Terra Moons except for this shade down here, and maybe these two. So I think these two are Luxie, this one is Luxie, and the rest is all Terra Moon. Oh no, there's a couple Glaminatrix, these three right here, Glaminatrix. This one's Luxie. So maybe it's just the top two rows, I don't know. And there might be a Shine by SD in here as well. So maybe one of these ones. And then I do have, oh, that's right. I wanted to just hit pan on these and then get rid of them. Do I want to pull that in? I think it would be super easy. Or do I just do that on my own? Maybe, I don't know, you guys, this is difficult. These are kind of the ones where I'm like, I don't really know what I want to do. They're very neutral. They're pretty, but I don't know if there's something I want to keep around. I'm not super excited about them. Some of them I do like. There's, these 4 are Urban Decay. And like one of this is Midnight Cowboy and the other one is Midnight Cowboy Rides Again, which is like popular shades. This is something dark dog or something along those lines. I don't remember. This is another Sydney Grace shade. ABH, 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 and then Urban Decay. My colored ones, there's some Looksy. These are NYX and this is Terra Moon. I think this one's Terra Moon as well, and then these 4 are Looksy shades. These ones here are all Looksy shades. And then I think that, oh yeah, these are my Lethal from the the Velvet Dusk palette or something like that. These are Gimme Glow and Juvia's Place. Oh, maybe I could do that. I think that's it, because I think this one, oh, and then this one is just like Pat McGrath, ColourPop, Marc Jacobs. These 2 are Looksy, I think, at the top. Yeah, so there's Looksy here, Pat McGrath. This is a mix of ColourPop and Marc Jacobs, like the cooler dark tone ones are Marc Jacobs. This is Marc Jacobs and ColourPop, and then this is Gimme Glow. So I don't know what to do, but I don't want to sit here and take up too much time. So I'm going to go off camera and try and decide, and I will come back and see what we're going to round off this color story with. Okay, so it didn't really take as long as I thought, but I have decided on the shade that I'm going to use. So this is my color story here. Now this is the shade that I chose, and no, it doesn't necessarily go with this color story, but I thought that it would be really simple and easy to use at this time of year. So the shade that I went with is my Sydney Grace shimmer, and this is in Pumpkin Spice Latte. So I think it's very pretty. It's super light. I could probably use it, I'm assuming, all over the lid as a simple one and done type of look, or throw a matte and throw this on top of it, use it in the inner corner or the inner half, just get some use on it. I do think it's a shade that I'm going to want to keep. I just want to show some love on it. Now there was quite a dip going on in here, but I don't quite know if that was actual like usage or if something had happened to the shade and that's why it's looking that way. But nonetheless, we'll see what it's looking like next month. It will be rolled out regardless, but I will decide if it's something that I actually want to keep or not. More than likely I will be, and I will just throw them into another magnetic palette. Maybe I will throw them back into my large Gimme Glow palette, so that way I know once I've used it in this project, I can throw it in there. I know what I'm doing with it. So unfortunately, it's not the best color story, but it is what it is. I just really just wanted to start using my singles as a way to figure out if I like them, if I don't like them. Part of me still wants to buy them, but I know that I shouldn't because I really don't reach for them unless they're in this project more or less. And using them just on their own isn't something I ever think about doing. So I know that purchasing singles, as beautiful as some of them are and as much as I want some of them, it's just probably not a smart decision for me. So I really want to look at what I have, go through them, figure it out, what I want to do with them, and that sort of thing. So we're going to start off with Pumpkin Spice Latte. It is beautiful. I do think I'm really going to enjoy using it. I think with the summertime now, it's going to be fun and easy to use and reach for. And that's kind of also what I was looking at when I was choosing a shade. I did swatch out a couple of other ones, but I'm thinking I didn't want something too fun and bright. We've still got August coming up. I just wanted something kind of easy to start off with, and I think that that's a good choice. So we're sticking with it. We're gonna continue. We're gonna see what next month is gonna be like, but I can almost guarantee you we're still gonna have the same color story because I don't know if I'm gonna hit pan on anything. It's definitely gonna take a bit. This would probably be the easiest, I'm thinking. These two are mattes, so they're gonna be a little bit more difficult, and then this is just using it as I use it throughout the month. The same rules apply whether I use it or not. It's still gonna be rolled out, but I do want to just try and see and handpick my shades for the next little while anyways. So we'll see what I'm working on for next month, but this is what she's looking like. Once again, I don't even know anymore. So anyways, that is it for this update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know about you and singles. Do you enjoy singles? Do you reach for them as often as you think you may have when you were purchasing them? I know they were such a big thing a couple years back, and they still are, but I just feel like I'm finding a lot more people now are talking about how they just don't really reach for them. They thought that they would, but they aren't, and I'm in that exact same boat. I really did think that I could pull out singles, create my own color stories, which I do, but I don't ever actually use them in the way that I purchased them to, like, intended to use them when I purchased them. So let me know how you feel about them. Let me know if you saw any singles in here that you think I should use for next month and what you would do with a couple of them, and let's just chat below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.